Imagine for a second that you're standing right at the base of this massive, imposing mountain. It's literally blocking your path to the life you've always dreamed of. The career, the deeply fulfilling relationships, the peace of mind, it's all waiting for you right there on the other side. Well, this explainer has the power to completely change your life, because today, we are going to confront a really painful but profoundly liberating truth about that mountain. Okay, let's dive into this.
Have you ever been right on the edge of a huge breakthrough, and then suddenly, you just stop? You put off that important project. You push away a loving partner for no apparent reason. You skip the gym after a stressful day, even though you explicitly promised yourself you'd go. Look, I want you to ask yourself right now, why do you hit the brakes just when things are finally starting to go your way? Why do we so consistently, almost predictably, get in our own way?
The answer is found in Brianna Wiest's globally famous, completely life-changing book, The Mountain Is You. And her core thesis, it's going to stop you dead in your tracks. You see, the external challenges you think are ruining your life, they actually aren't the real obstacle. The mountain you are facing is you. The roadblocks you're fighting are actually deep internal conflicts that you absolutely must conquer to unlock your true potential.
Section 1. The truth about self-sabotage. For the longest time, we all bought into this old belief that if you self-sabotage, you're just lazy, or maybe you lack discipline, or you just don't want it badly enough. But the new reality, what Wiest so brilliantly illustrates, is that self-sabotage is actually a twisted, subconscious coping mechanism. It is born entirely out of fear. Your brain is just trying to protect you from what it perceives as a threat, even if that threat is actually success, change, or vulnerability. It's not laziness, guys. You are just scared.
So how does this actually play out in our daily lives? Do you ever feel a sudden, heavy resistance to starting a new healthy habit? Yep. That's self-sabotage. What about uprooting? Constantly switching jobs or relationships because you're only comfortable with the exciting start of things, but completely terrified of deep commitment. Or perfectionism, setting your standards so impossibly high that you never actually finish the project, perfectly protecting yourself from ever being judged. Or maybe even feeling a deep, heavy guilt when you finally do succeed, because deep down you don't feel worthy. These are all defense mechanisms meant to keep you safe.
Section 2. Fear disguised as comfort.
There's this quote from Wiest that is absolutely crucial to understand. Human beings are guided by comfort. They stay close to what feels familiar and reject what doesn't, even if it's objectively better for them. Our brains are literally wired to crave what is known. If you grew up in a lot of chaos, peace feels terrifying. If you're used to struggling, success sets off alarm bells. We will literally choose a familiar misery over the unfamiliar discomfort of positive change. Crazy, right?
And here's the thing, when we avoid the discomfort of our true feelings, we create what Wiest calls an emotional backlog. Think of this like a massive unread email inbox in your mind. Every single time you suppress sadness, anger, or fear, a notification pings. Over time, you end up with thousands of unread messages. This creates immense physical tension and massive mental blocks that completely stall your life. You literally can't move forward because your system is bogged down by thousands of unread, unprocessed emotions. So, the crucial takeaway here is to pause and ask yourself this: are you reacting to the present moment or to a past trauma? When you feel sudden, explosive anger because your boss didn't praise your work, is it really about your boss today, or is it an echo of an unhealed wound from childhood when a parent ignored you? We do this all the time. We project our unresolved past onto our present reality.
Section 3. Steps to conquer the mountain.
To actually start climbing, the author points out a vital difference we need to grasp: the difference between an instinct and a feeling. An instinct is a fast, physiological gut response to an immediate, present danger. It's designed to keep you physically safe right now. A feeling, on the other hand, is an emotional reaction heavily affected by your past fears and your anxious thoughts about the future. So when you feel absolutely terrified to launch your new business, that's not a gut instinct telling you it's a bad idea. That's just the feeling of fear trying to trap you in your comfort zone.
The book equips us with some incredibly practical tools for this climb. First, we have to learn to disconnect action from feeling. You do not have to feel brave to act bravely. You can be absolutely terrified and still take the next step anyway. Second, use emotional journaling to start clearing out that email inbox of unprocessed emotions. Just write down what you feel and why. Third, when you get triggered, name the emotion to tame it. The second you consciously say, "I am feeling insecure," that emotion loses its overwhelming power over you. And finally, soothe your inner child.
Speak to yourself with the same warmth and compassion you would offer a scared 6-year-old.
Listen, monumental change doesn't just happen overnight. It happens through what Wiest calls micro-shifts. Think of these as tiny, daily increments of courage. Change one small action today. Maybe it's literally just drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, or finally sending that one email you've been dreading for weeks. Then repeat it tomorrow and the next day. Before you know it, you've completely rewired your brain and formed a brand new pattern of behavior. It's those small, consistent steps that conquer the highest mountains.
Section 4. Cost of your new life.
Now, get ready because this is perhaps the most hard-hitting, powerful quote in this entire explainer. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. You simply cannot bring your old habits, your old mindset, and your old fears into your new future. It doesn't work that way.
Growth requires necessary losses. This climb is going to cost you. It might cost you relationships with people who only liked you when you were weak or compliant. It will absolutely cost you your comfort zone. You are going to have to drop your victim story, that heavy narrative that life just happens to you. And ultimately, you'll have to shed your old identity. You literally have to let go of the person you were so you can become the person you are meant to be.
But hey, do not let that scare you. Because healing isn't about faking it or forcing yourself to become a completely different, unrecognizable person. It's actually a deeply empathetic return. Healing is simply returning to who you were before the world hurt you, before the trauma, before the doubts, before all those fears piled up. You are just uncovering the powerful, incredibly capable person who has always been underneath.
Section 5. Embrace your true potential.
Take a deep breath. Keep climbing. You are not failing. You are becoming. Every single time you face resistance, every time you actively choose discomfort over familiar misery, you are inching closer to the peak of your own self-mastery. Because the profound, life-altering truth that Wiest reveals is this: the mountain is not in your way, the mountain is your way. The very obstacle you thought was ruining your life, the exact self-sabotage you despised, that was the exact map you needed. It showed you precisely what needed to be healed. Facing it head-on is your ultimate path to your highest self. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Are you ready to pay the price of your old life to finally meet your new one? Because the mountain is waiting, and the power to climb it is entirely in your hands. Now, before you start that climb, if this explainer brought you value today, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling us what microshift you are going to make today. Keep climbing, and I'll see you at the top.